Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to do a weather update for Australia for the next week to 10 days. And there's been an invest designated and it's called 97S, and this could form into potentially a major cyclone in its early days. But what's going to happen is it looks like, and I'm going to show you through all the model output, especially the HWRF, which is the higher resolution model. It looks like there's some dry air going to intrude into the storm, but it depends on when it's going to intrude, if it intrudes before landfall or when it's making landfall. So if it intrudes the system during the landfall process, it could mean a stronger cyclone, because dry air it just basically stops convection, so it chokes out any storm development. So if it chokes us, if it tries to choke the storm out before landfall, it'll weaken it a lot faster before landfall, which means a weaker landfall. So that's what basically the dry air means. So I'm going to show you what the GFS is showing. So the GFS is showing a pretty intense cyclone here. It's going down towards 937 millibars there. So that's probably a Cat 3 to a Cat 4 on the Australian scale, which is a major cyclone on their scale. And if you carry on, it does actually make a pretty significant landfall. But what I'm going to show you on the dry air and the moisture and the relative humidity scale here, basically when it makes landfall, it's starting to compress the northern side of the storm, and it looks like someone's trying to get in towards the center there. So this is the worst case scenario. So it is intruding the storm, but that's when it's making landfall. So it's still a cyclone at that time. But if I show you the HWRF, it doesn't really take it. It's not shown as powerful during its lifetime anyway. But it does make it into a Cat 1 cyclone, it looks like, at this stage. But as you go on, it starts to weaken it before landfall, and this is because of dry air. And I'm going to show you here what the HWRF is showing for the dry air. So as we get towards Sunday and Monday, it's starting to intrude the storm there, and it's not even at landfall yet. So at this stage, the convection will be split towards the south, and the northern side will be completely just dry, so it won't be a cyclone anymore at that time. So it's quite early days of what's going to happen. It could make a landfall as a Cat 2-3 cyclone. It could make a landfall as just a tropical storm, basically. So we don't know what's going to exactly happen. So we're just going to have to wait probably another day or two to see what's going to exactly happen, because the GFS at this stage has it as a pretty strong cyclone at a high end Cat 3. So we just actually don't know. So we're just going to have to probably wait, as I said, another day or so to see what happens. If we look at the sea surface temperature 7-day change anomaly here, so this is based on the 1981 to 2010 climatology on average. So as you can see, where it looks like the 97S is going to form and make landfall, and this is where Veronica was. It has definitely warmed up since Veronica made landfall. It's definitely between the 2 and the 5 degree warmer than average. And you can see the Gulf of Commentariat here, where Trevor was, because when Trevor made landfall, it was significantly cooler than average, because that was off the upwelling, what cyclones do and what hurricanes do. It takes all the of the ocean heat content, and then it leaves it the surface, sea surface temperatures a lot cooler than before it was over them waters. And then now it looks like the warmer sea surface temperatures have upwelled up, so it's definitely starting to warm up now. And on the coastline, it is still cooler than average, but it is starting to warm up overall. If we look at the actual sea surface temperature anomalies on just average, so not the change on actual average, so the Gulf of Commentariat is still warmer than average. It's definitely between the 1.6 degree range above average, but the coastline is still well below average. It's between the 1.6 and 2 degrees below average. But as I've said, it is slowly climbing up, and it's starting to warm up overall. If we look at the western part of Australia, it's still showing cooler than average on average. But as I showed you in the 7-day change, it's starting to warm up significantly. So it looks like 97S is going to have lots of warm waters to deal with. The only thing that's going to probably stop it is the dry air. So we're just going to have to see what the dry air is going to show in the next day or two. If we look at the actual sea surface temperature anomalies, then we could definitely see where the cooler than average part is in the Gulf of Commentariat. It's still 28 degrees, but it's still a lot cooler than average, and it is still warming up gradually. But the northern part is between 31 to 32 degrees, so it's definitely warming up. And if you look at the western part of Australia, it's between 30 and 31 degrees. Well, especially like 31 on the coastline. But overall, it's starting to warm up again. So when the invest comes along around Chad, it's gonna be around 30 degrees to 29 degrees. So the surface temperature is not an issue here. It's going to be the dry air. Like wind shear could have a slight impact because it doesn't look like it's going to be low. It could be on the moderate side. So we're just going to have to see what the shear is going to do to the system. But as I've said, like the main problem like for the storm is going to be the dry air. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. And if you're on if you're on the western part of Australia, just anywhere on like the coastline, you're just gonna have to keep an eye on this and keep an eye on the local authorities and just keep an eye on the forecast because the forecast track could change. It is starting to get more concrete where it could go, but it could still via east or west. So we're just gonna have to see on the track, and the intensity is just up there. So we just like don't even know it. Like the HWRF, it's just saying like a mid tropical storm landfall. The GFS is bringing it in, bringing it in is like a high end Cat 3 to a Cat 4 landfall. So we're just gonna just have to wait and see what's gonna happen in the days to come. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, and turn the notifications on so you don't miss another upload. And I hope you found the video very informative. And I'll be back tomorrow for another daily upload.